This is breaking news.
We break into programming for a special report. You can find Let's Make a Deal on WLNY. We continue to follow breaking news in the death of 2 firefighters in Newark. Officials are now speaking live at the Office of Emergency Management. Let's listen in.
At least 150 feet or so high, and firefighters lined up on both sides as their fallen brother is taken into the hospital. That image will forever be stamped in my mind of how dangerous this job is, and how precarious things can be for our men and women of the fire service as they do their best to save people's lives and property. I saw the best of our city last night. Firefighters struggling through intense heat and unimaginable conditions to try to extinguish a fire that had the potential to cause major damage to not just the cargo ship, but impact the operation of the entire port. More than that, I saw Newark's bravest struggling with every ounce of their strength and every measure of their training to rescue and save their brothers who had been trapped. There are no words to describe the courage I saw. There are no words to describe our firefighters' passionate commitment to each other. There are no words to describe their love for one another. But none heart can be broken as much as the families of Augusto Akabu and Wayne Brooks Jr. Our hearts go out to them and their family members and their brothers and sisters of the fire service who had to see them in their last moments. Our hearts go out to all those who grieve with us today, the tremendous loss that we experience as a city, as a whole. There's nothing I can say to lessen the pain that everyone feels right now. I just want the world to know that we just lost 2 of our best here in the city of Newark, 2 of our bravest here in this city who, without hesitation, gave their lives, and probably that morning didn't think that they would be fighting a fire on a ship of 5,000 cars, something that they had not trained for, and would not return home that evening. We're going to do our best to get through this, as we always do. There is more information, obviously. The investigation is ensuing as we speak, and I'll allow the Public Safety Director and the Chief of Fire to give us more information about the particulars of those things before we open up the questions.
Good morning. First, we'd like to offer our heartfelt condolences to the families of the 2 firefighters that lost their lives last night. Firefighters are a distinct group of men and women. When everyone is running out of a building or a facility during a fire, they run in to save lives. Truly, the heroism of Augusto Akabu and Wayne Brooks Jr. are 2 heroes of Newark City's fire department. They went into the flame doing their jobs. Just that morning, Chief Jackson, earlier that day, had inspections and had conversations about safety and what the consequences of our job is. The firefighters last night, they displayed what it is to truly be a firefighter, and they paid the ultimate sacrifice. We have to continue to keep the families in our prayers and thoughts, to continue to support them. This is a long journey to recovery. We also have to support the firefighters that were in this ordeal. They lost one of their brothers, our brothers, a part of this family, of this city. We are the community, and the community is us, is what we always say here in the city of Newark. I'm most grateful for all the departments that provided mutual aid. It's all the counties that came through: Essex County, Bergen County, Union County, Hudson County, New York City Fire Department. All the brothers in fire came together to assist in trying to put this fire out. During that process, once again, we must extend a Thoughts and prayers to all the families. We had a total of 5 firefighters that were injured that are recovering right now. I'll turn it over to Chief Jackson for his remarks and a step-by-step of the events from last night. Chief Jackson.
It's a tough day for the Newark Fire Department. Try to get through this. But first and foremost, I want to send my sincere prayers to the family of Wayne Brooks and firefighter Akabu Augusto. Firefighter Akabu was a 45-year-old male, 9 years on the job. He worked at Engine 16, which is in the east section of Newark. Firefighter Wayne Brooks, 49-year-old male, worked at Engine 16, also in the east section of the city. These firefighters, you know, we go out and we do this profession, and we leave our house every day. We come to the cities that we love and work for the fire service to protect the citizens, the visitors of the community. And, you know, we think and we hope that each day we go out that we return. And this is like an ultimate sacrifice of the fire service, to lose a brother or a sister of this profession for doing something that we protect, doing something that we love, which is protecting the citizens of Newark. I want to say, may God bless them with eternal peace in heaven. For our fallen brothers, I ask that each and every one of us, not only the ones who are standing in front of me, but the citizens of Newark, the communities throughout our country, which the fire service is not just a municipality. It's a brotherhood, sisterhood throughout the country, and I ask that each of them pray for our brothers, firefighter Brooks and firefighter Akabu. And I just want to get into a little bit of what took place last night. So approximately 9:30 or 9:25, we got a call for a fire on Marsh Street in the eastern section of the city. When the companies arrived, there was a large shipping vessel which had, like the director said, approximately 5,000 cars on it. It was approximately 12 stories high. The members went in, like we always do, to try to make a bad situation better, and went in to extinguish this fire. And somewhere around the 10th and 11th floor, which was on fire, 10th, 11th, and 12th, with vehicles, they began to extinguish this fire. And there was a mayday. We had one of our brothers was lost within the fire. And we had the brave men and women of the Newark Fire Department made the ultimate sacrifice to bring these individuals out. And they made multiple efforts under extreme conditions, extreme heat, and they were able to bring firefighter Akabu out. And then we had another mayday, which was firefighter Wayne Brooks. And under extreme conditions again, with the help of the UIC region rescues, there's approximately 11 of them throughout the state of New Jersey, with the assistance of New York City rescue units, with the assistance of multiple county fire departments throughout the state, we were able to get the job done and bring firefighter Brooks out of the building. But it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that they succumbed to the injuries which were sustained at this incident. I ask that we continue to pray for them, to pray for their families. There's a long road ahead of us, and I'm praying that that somehow we could get through this and continue to be able to do the things that we love, which is one, becoming a firefighter, and one, protecting our communities and making the everyone's life a lot safer throughout. Thank you. Thank you.
Any questions?
It's still early in the incident, and it's still under investigation. We have the Essex County Prosecutor's Office who will do intense investigation along with the ATF, and we'll get further information. But we do believe that the maydays that were heard were the individuals.
Chief, do you know the two firefighters personally, and do you have any, and if so, do you have any personal memories that you're going to hold on to?
Prior to me becoming the chief of Newark Fire Department, I was a deputy chief, and my assignment was Tour 1, and Tour 1 was working yesterday. So to answer your question, yes, I've worked with them for over 6 years as their deputy chief before I became the chief. And like the director spoke about, just yesterday I did inspections on specialized equipment that we have. We have two vessels that are parked down there at the dock in the east, and then we have other specialized units like the rescue, hazmat that we man throughout the city. So periodically I do inspections of those pieces of equipment, and I had the opportunity of speaking to them yesterday afternoon as a company, and it's so many memories. They made my job a lot easier when I was a tour commander, because I had dedicated, committed firefighters like that when we did have incidents, they were easily mitigated. And it just breaks my heart to see, to witness that last night.
How hard does this hit you and your department, and how are you guys able to keep the strength up to continue doing your jobs?
One thing about firefighters, or even public safety as a whole, police, fire, EMS, what I know is, and what I've learned over my years in this service is that we have resilience, and it's going to be tough. It's going to be a long road, but somehow we continue to do what we love to do, which is protecting our communities.
And fighting fires in buildings and homes is one thing. You guys do that a lot. How is it different to fight a fire on a ship? That's a whole different structure. What do you like to do that?
It's definitely a different structure, a different type of firefighting. This vessel was unique because it's not like it's a residential ship or a yacht or some sort with some type of living quarters. This one was unique because it was a vessel that hauled cars, vehicles, a large amount of vehicles. So this was definitely a unique fire for us. All right.
When's the last time a firefighter was building a
2007. 2007.
It was mentioned that the firefighters weren't prepared for this, they weren't trained for this. Does the fire department ever train at the port? Whose purview is the port? Who usually responds to the major port fire there?
Right. So years ago, I'm not sure, and forgive me, I'm not sure how far back we did train on shipboard firefighting, but it was, like I said earlier, it was a different type of a vessel, not a car vessel, a vessel that hauls cars. It was a vessel that had compartments, living quarters, and stuff like that. But it was some time ago, and the department, just like every, I think, department throughout the country, there was a big turnover of firefighters where you have a large number of members retiring all at once, and then you get an influx of new firefighters. And a department of this size, training just don't happen overnight. It's a long process. It's a long on-job learning environment that we build and we build on.
Can you tell us how many firefighters were injured and what the extent of their injuries were?
Excuse me?
How many firefighters were injured and the extent of their injuries?
Yeah, we have a total of 5 firefighters that was injured. One had burns to his feet. We had one with heat exhaustion and one with respiratory distress. Those were the 3 Newark firefighters. And then we had members who came over from mutual aid to assist from Elizabeth Fire Department. And there was a total of 2 members with smoke inhalation and heat exhaustion.
You mentioned the FDY helped locate the 2 men that died.
Yes.
Can you confirm that one of them was an FDY rescue dogs that located one of them?
I wouldn't say just one person. This is not a one-person's job. This is a team job, and I would say the New York Fire Department as a whole, their rescue unit did come over and assist. This was for those who don't know, when you deal with fire, it's extremely, extremely hot, and everyone sees the temperature today, right? All right, so just imagine trying to, even if it was a storefront, imagine trying to make your way through there with 45 pounds of gear, layers of clothing to protect you from the heat. So there's an extreme. So and you have a bottle on your back that you're only going to get like 10 minutes from. So we constantly have to rotate people in and out. We have to have safety precautions. There are people to stand by, and that's what took place on this day, on last night. It was a long process, and we were thankful that we had our mutual aid resources in the city who were able to allow us to continue to search, continue to look, continue to, all right?
Let me say something to that. I want to respond to that as well. I sat there and watched firefighters come out of a fire, take all of their things off, and complete exhaustion from the point of passing out, then putting the stuff back on minutes later and getting in line to go back in again. I saw this over and over and over again as people fought to try to get in there as other units came to relieve them. It would have been virtually impossible for the Newark Fire Department by itself to finish this operation without the help of the mutual aid of the folks around this area. So I wouldn't just highlight New York, I would highlight everybody who I saw there, small towns like North Hudson, like Bayonne, Millburn, you know, small towns like Elizabeth next door that came and threw their firefighters in there without question and came out of there the same way our guys came out of there, in full exhaustion, soot all over their face, falling to the ground almost, trying to get that stuff off of them to go in and out of there all night long. I got to the scene maybe 10, 11 o'clock. I left there almost 4 o'clock in the morning, and the fire was still going on, and guys were still on the boat as we took our firefighters out of there to move them to the hospital. So I just wanted to give you context of what's actually happening here while they're out there fighting that fire.
And Mayor and Chief, can you talk about I know this is very early on, so investigating things, but do you feel that the city and local cities would actually benefit from having an actual fire department or fire staff there at Port Newark?
They have the Port Authority has a small, we call it a brigade, small crew that fight smaller fires. When they have structural fires or big fires of this sort, they always call Newark. Newark comes out. Our folks are down there meeting with Port Authority folks right now. That's a long conversation that we're going to have from now until we get some real resolution to what needs to be done as we move forward.
Sir, I'm sorry I walked in a little late. So there's no specialized unit fighting a fire like this on top of a ship, on a ship like that, right?
There's no specialized unit that Port Authority has, no. This is a fire that took place on Port Authority property. They call us when there are big structural fires. We come out to assist them in extinguishing these fires. Obviously, this became an issue where they just didn't have the capacity at all to deal with what was going on, so we had to take full control.
Is there a state agency, like for instance the state police or any other, that would provide training of such for fire departments across the state to deal with ship fires, container fires, etc.?
Yes, there is. The UIC region, they do have training for shipboard firefighting, and also through port security, there's training out there for this. Like I said, go ahead.
Do you have the approximate? You mentioned 9:25 was the first call, but you have 2 subsequent Mayday calls. Do you know what time those Mayday calls were?
The Mayday calls came in. So I don't have it right here right now, but we're not going to get into specifics right now because it's still under investigation. All right?
And for the city, will this tragedy spur conversations about what can or cannot be stored at shipyards? Has the company who owns the shipping container been in communication with the city? There's been other incidents before?
Yeah, they're in the process of doing that now. Like the mayor said earlier, there are people down there right now communicating with the shipboard execs and whoever else is down there concerning these matters.
Chief,
hold on one second.
The crew of the ship.
Hold on one second.
In reference to other questions on process and procedure and how we're going to go forward, anytime there's a critical incident, no matter what the ramifications, we do our own analysis of how we did as a fire department and how all the other entities perform. So once that process goes through, we'll review all the things that we can and cannot do better. So whatever concerns that may have happened, whether the fire got too big for one agency, the reality of it is, as the mayor said, it's always the collaborative effort of all the agencies to do a job this big. And at the end of the day, we're going to review and analyze how we did. It's for our struggle and strive to always be better. No matter how good you do something, there's always room for improvement. So what we're doing right now is going to have the analysis. Essex County Prosecutor's Office, ATF, and possibly some of Union County Prosecutor's Office will be investigating this whole incident. As a follow-up, we'll be finding remedies to fill some of the deficiencies that we find in ourselves and other entities going forward. So it is a work in progress. It is something that we all work towards to being better, no matter how good we may be or may think we are. There's always room for improvement. The training is conducted by UWASI, and that's also collaborative. So all the departments in the area get together, they do the trainings together, and they use the same format. Thank you for coming out here today.
I have another question. The crew of the ship, we learned from the company that owns the ship, 28 small, but there were firefighters in rescuing, or was the crew able to self-evacuate before your team?
None of the crew needed rescuing. They were attempting to put the fire out themselves, and then when the fire department came on board, we took over the scene. That will be the end of the questioning. Thank you very much for participating and assisting us today. Thank you.
Thank you.
And you've been watching a live press conference following the death of 2 firefighters in New Jersey. We'll have much more on this coming up on the News at Noon.